Hey everyone, it's Kim. I know it's an odd view looking down at my feet, but I wanted to talk about this little girl here. This is Maya. She's my 12-year-old going on 13-year-old, the youngest dog I have. If you didn't see my other video, I introduced all three dogs and everything they've been through over the last month. But this little girl here, she's been losing her hearing for a little over a year, and now I'm pretty sure it's almost gone. And some other eye problems, and very quickly she has gone blind. So in effect, she's both blind and deaf. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning this is where she wants to be all day, because of course suddenly going blind and not being able to hear, she's very fearful of being away from me. So I have been looking for specific things that she could still do, something to enrich her. And I came up with a couple of things that I ordered one off of Amazon. They're called lick mats. Those are coming. And unfortunately, my vet bills have been astronomical this year. And being on a fixed income, I have used up every bit of savings I have. The lick mats, luckily, were around $8. So, and I had fetch rewards, so I think I paid $1 something for them. Anyway, I need to find ways to give her something to do, because obviously she can't play. She still can smell things, so that's a good thing, but she can't see anything. So I got her the lick mats that can give her, she can lick on those. She likes to lick her feet. I think it's comforting to her right now, but I don't want her to do that because she'll give herself little sores. So I got the lick mats. I could put wet dog food on it, or peanut butter, pumpkin, whatever, something that she can enjoy licking for a while. And then I found something called a snuffle mat. And on Amazon, they're around $20. So they're, I'm kind of a crafty person. I like making things. So I went into my scraps and I found a bunch of flannel pieces that I had left over from when I made my granddaughter a quilt for Christmas last year. And I'm going to start cutting these because Maya wants to be here. And this is something I can do while she's sitting on my lap. So I'm going to cut all of these odd scrap pieces in approximately 1 inch by 5 to 6 inch pieces. And I could do that while she's on my lap. And then I'm going to make a little grid pattern on something else. I haven't decided yet. And you tie these up, and it makes a little mat that I could hide treats in there and her kibble. And she can, sniff through it and find those. Even if it's only 10 minutes of enjoyment for her, it's something that she could still do. So I want to do some type of enrichment the best I can with her. Anyway, once I get these all cut up and I decide on my grid fabric, I'll show you how to make them real quick. They're not difficult to make, so it might be something you can do with an older dog or a puppy, or if you want to give your dog some enrichment. You can use it for dogs that eat too fast, things like that. So anyway, I'm going to start cutting these up while my little girl here is taking a nap, and I'll see you back soon. Okay, I cut all of the strips to make Maya her snuffle mat, and I had to think about what I was going to use on the bottom, because really flannel, if I wash it a lot, it's probably going to fray, and I didn't think about that, but I was using scraps. Then I came up with the idea. I have a bunch of old t-shirts that had holes in them. So I just, Maya's right here. Sorry about that. I just cut the front off of a t-shirt. I don't even know what size it is, to be honest. I just kind of cut it. It's approximately 17 by 14. It's just an odd number I cut. And I hope you could see it. I marked out little dots about 1 inch apart. You'll see here, 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 here. I did a grid over the entire thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, and I'm going to kind of fold it. Well, my little grid goes through all the way. And I'm just going to make a little snip at each, not real big, but big enough that the I can get that piece of cloth through. I'll just make a little snip about each dot. Might even just poke it through, however it works, so that I could start putting the pieces in to tie off to make this snuffle mat. And to be honest with this, it's just going to be probably easier for me just to punch holes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you tying and putting it together. Okay, I wanted to show you, I got all those holes cut, right? So I wanted to show you what I'm going for here, which is a dense mat that I'm going to put, I can hide different treats and stuff in here, down in here where Maya's going to have to sniff them out. And it's time consuming because it's kind of tedious, just like cutting the holes was. But it's super easy to do. And I'll show you a little bit on this end exactly what I did. So with having all these holes cut, I just took a strip and, oh, yeah, that one's cut. I put it down into the hole on one side, and then I'm just going to fish it through the next hole, like so. And this one's a little small, but it'll work. And then I get it approximately equal, and I'm just going to tie a couple of knots, like this. Because I don't, if I wash these in the washing machine, I don't want the knots coming out. Now, in order to get it nice and dense like that, my thought originally, but I changed it, was to just tie it in each, like from here, tie one there and then go from here to the next one. But it was leaving big gaps in there. So what I found works better is to go down in the same hole that I tied the last one in. This is where the small hole is a little bit of an issue because it is a little small. And I just pushed it back through that same hole. And then I come up to the next one. And tie it so it brings those two holes closer together, and then it makes it nice and dense. Because originally I thought I was going to have to go from this row to this row, tying them together, and that just got to be difficult. So now I can just tie them like that, where they're sharing the same hole, and it comes out nice and dense like this. So not bad. It's like I said, it's tedious because you got to go down one hole, up the next, down one hole, up the next. But if I'm just sitting here with my on my lap here watching TV, eventually I'll get it done, whether it be today or tomorrow, who knows. But I'll be able to then show you how I'm going to try to teach her to use it. So again, she has a little enrichment, because with her not being able to see and hear, she's got to have something to do. Let me say right away, when I do the next one, because I'm going to make her a few of these, I would probably not use the flannel. This is going to fray as I put it in the washing machine. So this was just kind of my learning tool here, I guess, if you want to call it that, so I could figure out how to make this easier. The next one, since I have a bunch of t-shirts, I'm going to make out of just the t-shirt material, because you can wash this all day and not have to worry about the edges fraying. And it's nice and soft, and if she wants to lay on it or whatever, dig her nose into it, it'll be nice and soft. The other thing I thought would work really, really good with this would be fleece material, not flannel, but fleece, because that will not fray either as you wash it. And you don't have to worry about hemming it and sewing it and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to work on this, and when I get done, I will show you what we came up with, and then we'll see if Maya likes it. I wanted to show you, we finished Maya's little snuffle mat. And this is one of her first tries. She went outside to go potty. So we're giving her a treat. And you could see she's using her nose to look through for those treats. I broke it up into a few pieces. So she has to look for it. And I think she's doing pretty good. Obviously it doesn't last long, but this is a start to get her used to using her nose more and just to have something interactive to do. It did take a few hours to make this because you have to tie each individual piece. And I ended up making it a little bit smaller because I knew that this one is probably going to get a lot of strings on it. So I'm going to remake it in either fleece or the t-shirt material so that I can make a bigger one and hide in different spaces. But I didn't want to overwhelm her at first. Anyway, here's my sweet girl. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if your dog is going blind, maybe this is something that you can help them with.